Guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to do a slightly different video. I don't do a lot of fashion related content on my channel just because I don't think I'm the right person. But lately, like since the past, I want to say 6 to 9 months, I've been developing my fashion sense a little bit more, and I think I know a little bit better about fashion, or at least about the way I dress myself more than earlier. And I was actually looking back on a lot of the current trends, but also a lot of things that I have done, stuff that I've bought. Also, I'm constantly decluttering my wardrobe of pieces that I maybe once bought but I have never worn, and I don't even think I'll ever wear. And when I was going through all that, I actually realized that there are 10 things that I do regret buying, and I will never buy these pieces ever again in the future. And I wanted to keep this list for myself just to look back on and keep reminding myself in case I ever forget about it, and also make sure that I don't buy these things again. So that's why I made this list, and let's chat about it, and let me tell you the 10 pieces that I regret buying versus I will never buy again. And we're just talking categories of clothing, we're not talking like specific pieces, but I have like multiple examples from my own wardrobe that I can of course show you and share with you as well. So yes, my phone is having a mind of its own. Okay, I think we're good now. Let's get into it. The first one, and this is a very trendy, popular item. It's been quite trendy and popular the past couple of years, but we're talking about crop tops. Crop tops have been popular since I was in college. I want to say even a little bit after that, basically like when I graduated. And I do think they look great on a lot of people, but most people they look great on, feel comfortable wearing them, whereas I am very conscious of my tummy region basically because it's not super flattering. I do have quite a visible tummy section, and I think post COVID I've been more conscious about it because I've been constantly trying to get it back into shape. So, and it was never like great even to begin with, like even when I was in college, when I was my most healthy self or like my thinnest self, I still had like a noticeable tummy, and I've always been conscious about it all my life. So for that reason, something that is kind of cutting me off in my waist region basically, or above my waist, and is going to make my tummy look more noticeable or even show it off, is not something that I'm into. So I am not going to be buying crop tops or anything that is a super short top. I will not be buying. I try to make sure that whatever top I buy is longer, and at least covers like till my waist region, and that's like good enough basically. So I will not be buying any crop tops. And kind of in the same vein is my next thing, which I want to talk about, and that is low waist jeans. I think the last time I bought a pair of low waist jeans was in school. Probably, I don't know why I would have even done that, but I think earlier high waist jeans were not as popular. Like when I was in school, they were not really that popular. They became popular when I came in college, or like post college even, when I graduated. So now I am actually not even a jeans person anymore. I'm much more of a trouser person, and that's a recent development that's happened. And when I say recent, I mean like the last year or so probably. But yeah, not into low waist jeans. I'm not into anything that is low waist because automatically that's going to make my tummy look more visible. Instead of camouflaging it, it's going to make it more obvious. So that's why I'm not into low waist jeans. Another thing that I'm not into, and I thought this would be applicable to trousers as well, but it's not. It's only for jeans, and that is anything that is flared in terms of jeans, because I just don't think denims which are flared look flattering on me, versus for some reason trousers do actually look flattering on me. So I think it's like specific to which kind of fabric it is, but flared jeans don't really look good on me, and I have considered buying a pair of flared jeans, but I don't think I ever will, because I just don't think it's gonna look good on me specifically, like the fabric mixed with the cut and the way it is styled. I don't think it's for me. Moving on next to our fourth point, and this is something that I have thought a lot about, and I'll explain to you my thought process. It's something to do more with money and where I would spend my money, because it's a high-end item, and I'm talking about high-end bags. So it could be Louis Vuitton, it could be Dior, it could be Chanel, it could be Valentino, like any high-end designer brand. I will not be buying handbags from. And the reason I say that is because handbags are something, it's a utility item, and even though a lot of designer handbags could be more of like a prestige item or something that you like to show off, something that you invest your money in, not so much for utility purposes but more so for special occasions, showing off, etc., and to kind of make yourself look rich. I think designer items, more so than anything else, just make you look rich. I don't want to look rich. I want to be rich. And to be rich, you have to not spend your money on things that make you look rich. Like, that's the whole idea. And this is something, when I read the book, I think The Psychology of Money, is when I learned this, that people who are actually rich don't look rich, and people who look rich are not actually rich. And I would like to be the former, not the latter. So for that reason, I would not be spending my money on high-end bags. And I think at some point I even wrote high-end, like expensive shoes on this list, but for some reason it's not here, so I'll kind of club them two together. Designer shoes and designer handbags are not going to be something that I will ever buy, and hopefully this doesn't change in the future. It could, but most possibly it would not be changing. Let's move on to our next point, and that is polo neck t-shirts or any like top or dress or anything that is high neck. Now, there are multiple reasons for this. The first one being that when you're wearing makeup and you are putting your clothes on, like if you're doing your makeup first and then you're putting your clothes on, or even the other way around, I still feel like if you have something that is super high neck, usually 9 times out of 10 your makeup is going to get on it. And I have so many tops, especially high neck ones, that have makeup all over their collar and it's become discolored, and you need to specially clean it, maintain them really well, and that is like an extra thing that you need to do. And also, high neck things can make you feel a little hot as well, and I live in humid Mumbai. I don't want to feel hot at all, so that is also one of the reasons. And I just don't think, like on me specifically, it looks very flattering. I like more of like a square neck or a round neck or anything like this basically, which is not super high up. So for me personally, it just looks better this way. Something is up with my phone, like in the middle I realize it's not set properly. I hope this is better now. So anything that's super high neck just does not work for me personally, and that's why I'm going to be more cognizant of not buying these kind of things. And if I do accidentally end up buying them, I will make sure I return them in time and get my money back or exchange, etc. Moving on, next we have trendy looking, flashy, fashionable sunglasses. For me, I have a very specific style of sunglasses that work for my face, and they could be a little more expensive. When I say a little more expensive, I mean like more than 100-200 rupees. Like, I don't mind even spending up to 1,000 on a pair of sunglasses, maybe even 1,500, because some of my favorite styles which come from Lenskart when it comes to sunglasses are a little bit more like around 1,200, 1,300, that kind of thing. So I don't mind doing that, because the last pair which I bought from Lenskart, which I absolutely love, I bought this in 2020 or maybe even end of 2019, and those recently broke on me. So they have been with me for like 4 or 5 years now, and spending 1,500 on something that's going to last me 5 years, I'm okay with that. So in that sense, I'm okay spending a little bit more money. That is never going to mean that I'm going to buy a designer pair of sunglasses, but anything that's trendy looking, flashy, fashionable, may or may not suit my face. Even if it does suit my face, trends come and go all the time, so it wouldn't really make sense to buy something that is trendy that I'm not going to like in a year or two probably. So yeah, moving on to our 7th point, and this is any kind of sweater, and I'm not including tops in this category because if anything has buttons on the front like here, which is a top, it can always be worn as a shirt, something that's open or closed, and it works. But sweaters, particularly which have buttons over here, I can make them work for me by wearing them like a jacket, because as a sweater in itself with the buttons closed, they don't look good on me. In fact, they make me look heavier than I am, and that's something that I learned recently when I bought a Myntra piece, which I've shown you already in one of my videos, I believe. It just doesn't look right, and that specific piece made me realize that I don't like sweaters which have buttons all across the front. They just don't look good on me, so I will make sure that I don't buy any of those going forward. Then our 8th point is kind of similar to the 5th one that I mentioned about high neck stuff, and that is hoodies and pullovers. Now, similar to what I said about anything that's high neck that gets makeup on it, the same thing applies to hoodies and pullovers as well, is that when I wear them, I usually always get my makeup on them, and if I don't get makeup on them, I still feel like they make me very hot. With a jacket that has a zip, you can basically open it if you're feeling too hot, and if you're feeling cold, then you can just shut the zip and wear it as is. But with a hoodie or a pullover, you can't do that, and it makes you feel too hot, and I also get my makeup on it, and a lot of times it also makes me look a little bit heavier than I am. I feel like usually hoodies and pullovers can bunch up around the stomach region, and that doesn't necessarily look good on me. So for these specific reasons, something is definitely up with my phone. For some reason, it just does not want to stay in place today, and it's very bothersome. And just specifically in today's video, like earlier videos I filmed, I didn't have this issue. I don't know why it's happening in this video specifically. There is something not right about the way it is placed. But we're almost down to the end of the video, so let's just brace through it. So yeah, hoodies and pullovers are just not going to work for me if they don't have a zip, or if they have buttons in the front, that's also not going to work. But that's more like sweaters, not a hoodie, but you get my point. Moving on, next is flats. Now I usually, like earlier I used to love heels, but I think post like 2019 2020, like once I got a retail job where I was wearing shoes all day every day, like sports shoes, or rather quite comfortable shoes, since then this transition has happened over the last decade and like half a decade, is that I'm now a sports shoes person, and I wear sports shoes all day every day, even to my corporate office job. So flats and heels, heels I do still like to wear, and I own quite a few pairs of heels, but flats for some reason just don't work on my feet at all. Like when I say at all, I mean at all. So I don't buy flats anymore. If I buy any pair of sandal, it has to have the smallest heel. It doesn't matter, but it has to have it. If it's completely flat, I just don't feel like my feet are comfortable at all. So yeah, for that reason I don't buy flats, and I don't think I will ever buy flats. And then my last point for this video is totes, but open totes. Now this is something that I learned when I bought the Gusto Beyond tote, which I had, the blue one, which you've seen I think a year or so ago is when I bought it, and that's when I realized how cumbersome it can be to carry around a tote which is open. If you are just going for a couple of hours to the beach or something and it's just a one-day trip, then that's okay. Probably it's not going to bother you as much. But if it's your everyday office bag, an open tote is just not desirable, because A, it can cause theft if you're traveling in a local transport. B, if you're traveling in a metro or something where you have to check it in, stuff can just slip out of it. C, it's just, again, having everything open, dust getting into it, it getting dirty, the stuff inside is easily visible to everyone basically around you when it's an open tote. I just don't think it is, it's definitely not going to work for me, and I don't know how other people manage to carry an open tote around everywhere. and make it work for them, but it's just something that's not gonna work for me, and I do regret buying it. I wish I bought the Beyond Tote a little bit later, because they did introduce a zip version now that's also available. You can still buy the original version, but now they also do come with a zip on the top, which is much better. So yeah, those were the 10 fashion related things which I personally won't be buying / regret buying, and that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry for my phone just constantly, like, I don't even know what it's doing and why it is doing this, but yes, I will fix it so that the next video that I film does not have the same issue. But yes, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and until next time, bye.